Hello my wonderful friend, it's King Gabriel again here with another impromptu video, and the title of this video is What Are You Expressing? The reason it's what are you expressing is this. We tend to think that the way to express is always in relation to another, in that we try to adjust, and this is in human consciousness, we try to adjust our response, our activity, our understanding in a sense to what is being presented to us. And that seems like the right thing to do if you're really working with others and getting along, right? Or you want to get along for that matter. Totally normal, totally natural. However, when it gets too much up in the head, too much up in the space of human thinking, too much up in the space of trying to figure things out or to fix, which is a natural male tendency, it can become a problem, right? The problem is that the male tendency to fix also has to look on the problem, and by looking at the problem, it is very hard to solve the problem, because then the problem has already entered awareness and you are already creating along those lines. So an instance of this would be, I saw someone post something that's going on in Africa, and it was quite startling. I won't even mention it right now as in terms of the details of it, because it was quite startling. And you know, some people look at it as, well, okay, this is the way we're going to solve this problem. We bring it up to awareness and we let everybody see, and then they'll make a difference in it because they see that there's that problem. That has never worked. It's like some of the commercials and stuff that you'll see on TV where they show you all the things that are wrong in the world. When people see all the things that are wrong in the world, yes, they're aware of it, but does that really create a definite change in that situation, or do people just walk around feeling bad about it, realizing in some way that they're helpless to do anything about it? That doesn't feel good to anybody, and it doesn't actually generate the type of change we need. The type of change we need is in seeing the solution, being able to recognize that, okay, we know already, all of us know the problems that exist, right? We don't need to look at the problems anymore. We need to get centered, realize that the source is the solution of all problems, right? And get centered on the source of being, get centered on that energy that runs through us, and express that energy so that the world itself is lifted, the vibration of those around us who seem to be walking around at a vibration that's not in alignment with the highest expression of divine consciousness intent, and recognizing that, well, okay, they're not there right now, but with our influence, with what we're focusing on, what we're being, what we're doing, who we are, they sort of get lifted up to that, you know, and get lifted a little higher. We're here to lift, not to drop and sink down with those who don't know better, because if they knew better, they would occupy different spaces in terms of vibration, right? And it's not about anybody being better than anybody else, it's just a choice. It's a choice as to the information that's given to the individual. They either realize, okay, I can focus on all these problems, put my energy here and create more problems, or I can refocus that same energy into my source, knowing that it cares for me, it gives me everything, it supplies, provides for everyone around me as well. And through that energy that's coming through me, I can then help those around me to rise as well. And that's the thinking. So in saying what are you expressing, I'm asking, the question really is, are you expressing the thoughts that would lead you to creating chaos? For instance, are you watching a whole bunch of news and looking at the problems and saying, well, this needs to happen and this needs to happen and this needs to happen, and generating more of that? Or are you looking on your source? Are you looking on the solution? Are you looking on ways to help people's minds to rise, to help your mind to hold the light space, to be able to help the others around you and lift your pod, lift your crew, you know? That's what I'm talking about. And we're all able to do that. It's not like a humongous amount of effort, really. It's just a humongous amount of discipline, right? It's discipline because it's a choice in each instant to look on the things from the past, the things that have already accumulated and come into form, or look on the new thing that we're bringing into form, right? And we're doing it right now. It's really easy to do, actually. In fact, I should not say it's easy, but it's simple. It's quite simple. It's simple because it's only one step. The one step is pay attention to your source. That's meditation, paying attention to the source of being. And so in that way, you live in a state that allows others to occupy that state with you. You lift those around you out of the state that they thought they had to stay in, the state that they're stagnated in. Right? Now, this is what happens when we start expressing that source of being. Health increases. We start to feel better. We start to feel nice and light. We want to interact with people more, right? We have our time alone still when we meditate and stuff like that, but we also interact with people, and we interact on a higher level. Our conversations are less about complaining. They're less about blaming. They're less about gossiping and stuff like that, right? And they tend to be more of a higher nature. What are you creating? What are you doing? How are you feeling today? And when we say how are you feeling today, it's understood that it's not a chance to complain, but an opportunity to say, whoa, you know, I really feel great inside. I feel really connected. It's awesome to see you today. It's lovely to see you. Awesome to be with you. Good to be in your presence. Lovely to see you. That's a greeting of someone who really feels connected to those around them, because they're not seeing the old person. They're not seeing the darkness. They're seeing the light. They're seeing the brilliance of that individual expression of the divine. And so, what are you expressing? Are you radiating that goodness, that health, that vibrance, that joy, that love, that peace? Or are you doing the other thing? And, well, you know what that is. I don't have to go into detail about that, right? When we do the other thing, though, the body itself shows us that we're doing that. So we may go through slight illness, we may have a drop in health for a bit, but all that is just a way for us to see what we're doing. The body is a tool. And so if we're expressing something that we're not meant to express, the body will show us that. It's an indicator. It's neutral. It's very, very neutral. And so if you shout and you have rage, you may find yourself catching some sort of cold or something like that, and it's not a permanent thing. It's a temporary situation, and that temporary situation is brought about to show you instantly, right? You don't want to be expressing that energy. All the cells, everything that's in you, all the conscious entities that make you up, because bacteria and a whole bunch of stuff make up this whole device that you're functioning through, they respond to that energy as well. So if your energy is going to be harsh and rough and toxic, it will have a toxic effect on those things. And so the body will show you, hey, you're a little out of line here, you know. And then as you realize it, you can make that shift and have that shift affect you positively, and then you know you're back on track. You know you won't go there again. You learned from whatever that was through the mechanism. And that's all the mechanism is really for you to learn to be the best you and express the best of you, the best, all that is coming through you, the best of you, which is the source. The more that you get close to source, the more that you get close to the divine consciousness intent, the more that you radiate that inner beauty. And that inner beauty does externalize after a while as well, right? So beautiful people aren't beautiful by mistake, okay? They're beautiful because they're linked in, and their vibration is continually lifting towards expressing that inner beauty, which shows up in outer beauty as well eventually. Right? And when I say beauty, I don't mean somebody's standard of beauty in some Cosmo magazine or whichever magazines people watch or whatever. I mean natural beauty. Each individual entity is extremely beautiful. And the divine that chose to express through that being saw it as beautiful and loved it in order to bring it into creation. So there's always love as the basis of everything that is. And everyone, every single individual has beauty and this radiance to share. Right? The closer we move towards that infinite, eternal, lovely beauty that is there, the more we start to express that, and people can see it. You don't have to look a specific way according to anybody's idea in order to be beautiful. That beauty is an inner radiance that shines, and people see it, and they know it when they see it. Right? So that's what I'm talking about. What are you expressing? Do you want to express beauty? Do you want to express love? Do you want to express the divine? Do you want to express your source? Or something else? I know I'm choosing to express the source, because that entails everything, and then we get to have and be everything. There is no reason not to. It's simple, and so it's just the thing to do, right? I hope that you guys get something from this, and that you can choose the choice that feels good for you. Whatever you choose is up to you, but really and truly, I believe that the correct choice will definitely be made clear to you as you go along and you continue to experience, right? Eternal love and infinite peace.